Mama akwaba wafreme ajwa searching mesrel na wa subscribe to my channel. Mia notification bell also for more news.
You are here.
We're not afraid. We're not afraid because we think that we are putting in the work. And we also think that the NDC fielded a very weak candidate. Weak candidate in so many areas. I mean, there's a man that has been president before, that has been vice president before. Whatever he's asking that we make him, we've made him before. And so
that's interesting. Whatever he's asking that we make him, we've
made him before. I mean, he's basically asking us to make him president.
Yes.
And this is exactly what he asked that we make him in 2012.
And we obliged.
Which we did. In fact, he told us that he was just a spare driver and he wants us to make him the main driver. He said it at the IEA debate. And we actually obliged and made him the driver. And we saw what he could do. And so it's quite strange when the same person comes and say, make me president again. For what? To do what?
To do the good things that he did.
So you first of all then have to show us your scorecard and tell us why you couldn't do all the things you are saying you will do now. I mean, the doctors you told that you're not ready to negotiate with them for better conditions of service. You need to explain to them why now you think you can give them better conditions of service. The young people you told that you're not a magician to put money in their pockets and give them jobs. You have to tell them how you've suddenly become a magician. The nurses and teachers that you withdrew allowances from in their colleges, you have to take your time and explain to them why you think now you can afford to give them the nurses and teachers allowances. The students, the children you left at home, over 100,000 of them you left at home averagely. They amount to close to about 800,000, and you could run into 1 million within your period, 8-year period. They are all, voting age now, and they are coming to vote against him. And for you to be able to convince them to vote for you, you have to explain to them why you left them on the streets.
You're talking about free SHS?
Yes. I mean, because there were close to about 100,000 that were not enrolling after
correct.
BEC.
That's correct.
Simply because of two things. Their parents could not afford, and then we didn't have enough infrastructure. And he was quite categorical. He says that he was not going to implement any free SHS based on the whimsical promises of a desperate politician. And that if he had 2 billion cedis, he won't put it into free SHS. His position on making secondary education free is very clear, without any ambiguity. So today, if you come and tell them that, vote for me, and I will make free SHS quality, they are laughing at you. They are looking at you and they are wondering, how do you think you can make something that you don't believe in better than the person that brought it? How are you able to implement something better than the person that brought it? And these are the reasons why I can tell you that former President Mahama is losing the elections, and he knows it. I can tell you without any shade of doubt that he knows it. And his people know it. They are very much aware about that. And you can see that from his energy. And that is why, for the first time in the history of any democracy you know, you have the incumbent candidate working even more and campaigning more and espousing more policies, providing more solutions to our issues than the opposition party. It's quite clear, Paul. And that is the reason why we're here tonight. We're not sleeping. We are not going to fight. We are not going to get emotional over the issues. We are going to discuss the facts and the issues as they are. Because see, for the NDC, immediately you allow them to trigger your emotions. That's what they like. They hide under the emotions and the sentiments, so you don't discuss the real pertinent issues. But there are serious issues to discuss. You left us in darkness for 3 years out of your 4 years without caring. You told us point blank that you don't have a solution to our energy crisis. People lost their jobs, businesses collapsed, factories were shut down and turned into churches. So today, if you come and you have a government that has kept power on for 8 years, 8 uninterrupted power on.
No, that was interrupted. That was 6 months of doom sol recently.
No, 10 weeks.
Oh, 10 weeks?
Yes, 10 weeks. 10 weeks. So if you come and tell me that I should vote for you, who left us in darkness for 3 years, and vote against the government that has kept us in stable power for 8 years, it's quite difficult for people to understand. But he has a strategy. His thinking is that there are some close to 2 million people who never experienced poor leadership. That's the Gen Zs. You know, these young guys, they were 8 years, 10 years during his presidency.
Oh, they are voting already?
Yes.
Oh, but he left government in 16.
Calculate.
8 years.
Yeah, so he was 10 years old.
So 10 years is now 18.
My 10-year-old son may be in darkness today, but he really doesn't understand what it means. All he knows is that
they were in darkness, but they don't know his policy, his failure, and all that.
They cannot recall when he and his government officials told the young people of this country that they should go and cut grass and put by the roadside and come and sell as jobs. They don't recall. They don't recall when he told the labor union that he's seen so many strikes in his time as president, and for that reason, strikes and labor unrest do not move him, and that he's almost like a dead goat, not scared of any knife. They don't recall that, and that's what he's counting on. So this is his trick. These young people have only experienced a Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government. They've seen the bad,
especially the second term,
the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so they've seen so much done in health, education, road infrastructure, but they're upset. They're upset because they've experienced economic difficulties.
Yeah.
At a time when the government and all governments across the world are grappling and working in fixing. And so they say, but is this all you can give us? They are unable to measure the successes and achievements of this government.
Yeah, but what's your plan for them? They will vote for Mahama.
That is why we are here. That is why we will continue to remind them. We'll show them the facts. We'll show them the evidence. We'll replay the issues. We'll replay Mahama's videos. We'll replay his officials' videos. We'll remind the young people, unfortunately, a lot of them in the last 8 years have been educated. And then another Dankwa Akufo-Addo's free SHS. So they can read. So I keep telling them, pick your phone. Don't let anybody don't let miracles tell you why you should vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and vote against John Mahama. Read. Go to the web. Go to YouTube. Watch the videos. Watch how young children your age, at the time when you were 10 years old, were learning on the street under street lights. Watch how young people's dreams were cut short because their parents were poor. Do you know what it means to be in a classroom and be called out and sacked from the class because you owe fees?
That's terrible.
I have seen it before.
So have I.
I have been through it before. Your self-pride is lost. You lose your self-confidence. You come to class, and when the teacher is teaching, you are looking out the window to see whether the buzzer is coming. And so you are unable to concentrate. Your performance is affected because your mother or father is poor. Something that has nothing to do with you. And so we need to remind these young people who were not here. I mean, they were 10 years old. And that's what John Mahama is counting on. But that's where he's mistaken. Because we are going to talk. We are going to speak. We will not fight. If they bring the fight, we'll push them back and we'll deal with the issues. And we'll keep reminding these young people that this is the scorecard of the former president who is asking to be made president again. And this is a scorecard of the vice president who is asking to be given an opportunity to also show to his country what he can deliver to move us forward. Basically, that's what the conversation is all about.
That's very well said. Okay, let the text messages start coming in.